Good morning, Vietnam. Perhaps I should turn my volume down over here. Got on just a couple minutes early, everybody, just to make sure we're good and ready to roll. Good morning, Algo Prime. I'll get rolling here in just a couple minutes. Today's my first day, first day not worrying about OBS. So I just hopped straight onto YouTube Studio for today and see how easy it pops on. It's amazing. Now, I set up a time. I'm going to meet up with one of my teammates on Monday, I believe, to have them go through the OBS thing with me. That way I can show all the fun, cool graphics and things. But yeah, at the end of the day, all that matters is the trading itself, right? Streamlabs, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I know our company uses OBS, and I know we've used Riverside. And at one time we used StreamYard, I think it was called, when we very first started. So yeah, that's kind of the graveyard of what we've used as a company, but that's the whole production team doing that, not me as a trader. So maybe one day I get big enough, I'll be able to have my own production team, right? That would be the ultimate goal. So, but yeah, just give me one moment. Just gonna make sure I got all my goodies set up over here. Go ahead and get my screen shared. Obviously, the last day of the year. So we'll see if we can squeeze out anything on like a 5 or a 15-minute time frame today. That would be the goal. Obviously, markets close tomorrow, and it'll be back open on Friday. But I'm sure a lot of people are still going to be hungover from their New Year's champagne on Friday, right? So probably not going to be a ton of trading, probably thinner liquidity, just like it's been the last couple of weeks. And then we'll come out swinging hard on Monday. Okay. First full day of the new year. Everybody's back in office. All the whales are back on their laptops, their trading stations, the hedge funds, everybody back in office, right? So today was today's more or less just kind of a reflection day and see what we've done for the year and think about what we can do for next year. So go ahead, though. Let me know if you guys have any specific tickers you want me to look at. Okay, definitely do that. As far as my top setups goes, I don't think really a whole lot of anything has changed yesterday. Okay, still got the indices and the metals at the very top. It's been interesting watching gold and silver the last couple of days, especially silver, which we can lead off with that, actually. I did close out a silver trade yesterday. I had about a 1-to-1 win on it. So let's see here. Yeah, here we go. So with silver, man, just recapping the week we've had, turn my drawings off for a second. Okay, Friday, obviously we had that monster, what was it, 10.5% move up, I believe it was. Yeah, 10.5%. And only for Monday to turn around. And as far as the range of Monday, we had a 16% range. Okay. That was just a nuts of a day. Was it really that surprising, though? Not really. What goes up must come down, right? Gravity takes effect at some points. But when you have a 10% gain, this shouldn't be unexpected at all to have some type of retracement, right? Kind of an exhaustion move up, a little bit of a breather, profit taking, all that kind of thing. So, when price came down, I was taking a look at this, what was a daily demand, this green candle right here. Okay, that was the Thursday candle before the big giant Friday move up. So I wanted to keep an eye on this point right here. Oh, did my volume, what the heck happened? My screen went down. My secondary screen. Give me 1 second. Let me see what happened with my screen. What the heck? 1 second, guys. My second monitor just went out on me. But my stream is still going, so that's good. What the heck just happened? My stream's still going. Okay, my stream is still going. Okay. Huh. Did my monitor just die? Give me 1 second, guys. That is so weird. My space heater and my monitor just went out. That is so weird. Do I need to flip it back up? Yep, that's what it was. I think my space heater, circuit breaker engaged and turned off. So, all right. I think we're good to go now, guys. That was weird. Yeah, here's the thing. I've got 2 outlets in the corner of my room here. I got my laptop and monitor and a couple other things on one circuit breaker. And then I've got my brand new trading computer and all 4 monitors on another circuit breaker in a different outlet. So along with my Wi-Fi, my routers. So yeah, I got quite a lot of stuff cooking over here in the corner of this room. I was wondering if it was going to overload it at some point. So got it. We got it. But hey, we're back on now. So good deal. Anyway, back to silver. So yeah, daily demand. So I got in this trade. Yeah. Let's see. Monday, I believe it was. Yeah. Monday on the retracement. So we came back down and I was looking at this zone here. Now I colored it light green, just meaning it's already been chewed through. Okay. But this was the daily demand that I bought from. 1 hour demand. Okay. We had this 1 hour candle back here, right over here. And this was really the last point before we had that big screaming Friday move up. Okay. It technically started, it technically started on Wednesday, right? Last Wednesday. So anyway, we had that big, strong move up. So I thought that might be a hot point if price were to return. Okay. So sure enough, what happened comes back down on Monday morning, actually, when I was on stream with you guys. So, but price just kind of danced around there. So I didn't get in this trade immediately. Okay. I didn't want to just hop in because think about it. 10% move up. But as I just showed earlier from that daily time frame, we had a 16% move down. And, at this point, it's a freight train. So I wanted to wait a little bit. Okay, this is where patience comes in. I wanted to wait just a little bit to make sure that after price came into these zones, it didn't just chew all the way through. Just this heavy momentum move, just blow all the way through it, right? So I basically waited. In the process of waiting during the latter part of the intraday session here in the States on Monday, I started watching it from some smaller time frames. So let's see here. Went down to the 15. Okay, 15 minutes. And from here, I started to see that we had obviously a new low, but we had a higher low, and then we had another higher low over here. And the same thing was true for the highs. Okay, we had a high point, which was a lower high coming from this big move down, but then we finally had a higher high. This is again on a 15-minute time frame. So when I saw these couple higher highs and these higher lows, this is actually where I got into the trade. I saw this big wick right here, and you guys see I got a new box drawn in here. Okay, so that was a 1 hour, I think. Let me go double check. So, smaller, just looking at this small section here. Okay, 1 hour time frame. So this candle right here. And then we had the move out, which on a smaller time frame broke these swing highs over here. Okay. So when I saw that, that's all I needed to see to wait for that retracement back to this little zone inside of a zone to go long. I know that's kind of complex, but in my head, it sounded good. It felt right because I basically wanted it to confirm itself versus just limit ordering on a 16% decline, right? That's called getting into a freight trade. But, at this point, price screams down, but it bounces off those zones and just hangs out for a while. So just basically, just waiting for the momentum break upwards, but not for the buy there. I still wanted to wait for another retracement. So that's why I ended up getting in down here on the, and so yeah, I mean, I got into that trade late Monday. Okay. It ended up being late Monday. And then you see it just went up nicely. Okay. So by the time it's got up to here yesterday, midday, at that point, I had started off with my stop loss. Okay. Let's draw that up for you real quick. Okay. Stop loss down here. Right. Underneath the daily and the 1 hour zone. So I just started trailing this thing along the way. Had it under here at one point, and then we had that big gap, that last big gasp up. So I ended up trailing my stop right here. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So I ended up stopping it below, putting it up below this swing low. Okay. Why is that doing that? There we go. This swing low. So yeah, at this point, guys, I just was fine with it because I'd already profited, a little better than a 1-to-1 actually. And then I finally got stopped up right here. Okay. So this would have been the evening yesterday. So yeah. Oh, did my chart? Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm going to have to stay on top of the charts, not getting kicked off. There we go. So yeah, guys, just to recap. So yeah, just to finish my thought there, I had the stop loss down here. Okay. And then along these swing lows, I just kept moving it up. So yeah, I eventually got trailing stopped out. Okay. Right here. And I was fine with it. And that was a good point. Okay. It was this last point of return right here, this last little swing low. That's where I wanted to lock in my gains, but still give it some room to see if it could continue up. Because ultimately, my ultimate take profit was up here closer to this 4 hour zone above us. Right. But at the same time, it was a pretty good unrealized set of gains. So I didn't want to lose it all. So I basically kind of risked this amount right here to try to make that amount. If that makes sense. So yeah, it was a pretty good trade. Okay. I think it was like, I don't even know what it was exactly. I had a couple accounts going on with it. Let's get my charts up over here on my other screen. Those are 5. Oh, come on. Load up. $517 on one account. Okay. And then $228 on another. So about $750, whatever the math turns out to be on that. Not bad for a holiday truncated week. Okay. I'll take it. I've actually had, last week was kind of a similar thing, right? Christmas week, thin liquidity, just like this week. My only real goals was just to not do anything stupid, right? Don't do anything stupid to lose money. So if I could come out of the last week with look, $250, and then this week with what the heck did I have this week? Yeah, like you said, the 517. I'll take it. Not going to get rich in a holiday truncated weekend, but it's okay to pick up a few bucks. So what are we left with? Let's take a look at our economic calendar. Okay, obviously the only thing we have left this week is the unemployment claims, which will come out actually here in about 45 minutes. So projected to have 5,000 more, and this number is kind of fluctuated. Just got funded. You blew your funded account algo. Was this a Hola Prime account or was this another account, another brand? Can't see. That's good. Just got funded. Dang it. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Yes, it happens. I hear that happens quite a bit, right? People. Why do you think you blew it? Do you think you just went away from your rules? Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. Why do you think what happened? Let me see if there's anything we can help you on with that. Did you just go away from your rules or losing streak? Yeah. Okay. How much do you risk per trade? That's always the first question I ask every time I have my coaching sessions with clients. Because it seems like almost every single person I have a 30-minute session with, they're always risking too much. So not to assume, that's why I just was curious to see, curious to see what you got there. Tradition. I've said this a couple times this week, and I had a 30-minute session the other day, and that was the first question. 0.05 lots. What percentage is 0.05 lots? I'm not as familiar with the smaller accounts on the math. So yeah, I don't know the math on that. I know the math on a 100K account. Oh, you only trade gold. Okay. You know what? Gold has been the main thing I've traded this year. I'm a currency trader at heart, but I was just looking yesterday at my breakdown, and gold was like 40% of my trades this year. Like 20%. Yeah, see, that's way too much. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to, it's harder when you're on small accounts like that. But if you're doing 0.05 lots, I don't know will they let you do 0.01 lot? I would just say if you get you another account at some point, here's what I'll tell you what I was taught 12 years ago, because obviously my 12-year anniversary is coming up as a trader. My Forex coach, he told me, he said, whenever it comes to your risk per trade, whatever your broker will, whatever the minimum amount your broker will allow, just risk that. Now, it might be, a cent, 5 cents. I mean, obviously, it's not rated in cents, but if it's 0.01 lots, okay. And I'll be honest, I don't even know what the lowest lot is that Ola Prime allows. So if it's 0.01 lots, that's what they basically said. Place 10 or 20 trades in 0.01 lot, or whatever the minimum is that's allowed. And once you get bored with making money, as silly as that sounds, then that's when you move it up to 0.02, or just basically, you're already in a very tiny amount per trade. So just, double it from there, or just slowly increase it. So it will be boring. I mean, it is boring when you're risking 0.01 lots, but the goal should not be making money right off the bat. The goal should be protecting your capital, because that's job number one that we have as a trader. Now we are our I can't talk today. We are our own boss, right? So, but we still have a boss, and that boss is the market. So yeah, that's job number one that we have, is capital conservation. The money will come, but we got to get really, really good at the basics. Really, really good at the risk management first. So, yeah, I hope that helps. But if they allow 0.01, 60%, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, that just goes to show, you've got an awesome win rate. That's awesome. That's a great win rate. But just because the person has a good win rate doesn't mean they're making money, right? So yeah, just next time you get a new challenge account, I would just recommend that 0.01 lot. Losing streaks, so shit happens. Yeah, shit happens, man. First fun I used to deal with. Of course, we're more friendly. How many tigers do you have share, live streaming for a company? Nah, hey, you know what? It happens. Just got to get a new one. Hey, and it's only 5K, so it's it's not like you risked $1,000, $1,500 on an account either. The 5K account is what, $80, $100? I don't even have the amounts off the top of my head. So yeah, it's $100, but it's not like it was 1,000. So, but it's a good place to start. That's a great place to start as a somebody just jumping into the prop game, smaller account like that. $50. Yeah, it's cheap, right? It's cheap. So there you go. Yeah, get you another account, and we'll help you pass the next one. Yeah, and speaking of gold, because you said you were a gold trader, so just looking at my top setups, gold is still giving a nice bullish signal along with silver, but the gold actually went down a point or two because I think yesterday it was up at the +7 or something like that, +7, +8. So it is still a bullish score. It just got just a tiny bit weaker. So we'll take a look at gold and silver. And then, of course, the U.S. indices still got, this is literally the same things that was on the list yesterday. I think Euro Swiss wasn't on the list at that time. So this one is one that jumped on the list later in the day yesterday. But yeah, pound Aussie, Euro Aussie, those were given similar scores yesterday. So yeah, let's take a look. Let's go back to the gold chart because I think I pretty well finished on silver. Okay, so yeah, just to finish my thought on silver, what can we do now with silver? Well, it's back down to this this support level, but you guys know I'm not a big support trader, right? I look for demand zones. It's just a different story. But yeah, you're probably going to get some people jumping into this trade. I'm a little leery about it at this point though, because this leg right here, the leg that I ended up making that money on, okay, it wasn't even strong enough to go through the overhead supply. So if I'm looking at a 4-hour chart, okay, it's a big range, but this is one, this is one supply zone. Okay. We're talking about this green candle right here. Okay. That is a supply zone. Did this demand zone, well, I should say, did this price action here, was it strong enough to blow through an overhead supply zone? No, because it got into that supply zone and then turned around and came back. And it also made a lower high, right? So lower high. So if we were unable to make a higher high, then this price area here doesn't really appeal to me as much. Okay, so I think I just need to see it jump through a couple hoops for me. I mean, obviously, if you look a little deeper, okay, we do have a daily demand with a 4-hour confluence, which is my all-time favorite confluence. But I got to be honest, I wasn't too awfully thrilled with the way it exited this zone. I mean, I like the fact that the volume had a nice spike, which is, of course, our intraday open here in the New York trading session. Okay, where silver got a nice bump back on Friday the 19th. I do like that. It's a little narrow though. It's not even $1 wide. Not even $1 wide on a 60, at that time, a $67 instrument. So it's a little narrow. So if I were to use this zone as a place to buy, okay, I probably would be a little careful. And instead of using my stop loss below that 4-hour, I might just incorporate the whole daily just to give it a little more wiggle room. Yes, it's going to shrink the reward to risk ratio, but something is better than nothing. I feel like this might choke it out a little too much if we put our stop below, just directly below the 4-hour zone. So it really all depends on how the price enters the zone. Is it entering and starting to break a structure? Okay, you guys see me draw this ad nauseum, right? Are we getting something like this with some pretty good volume on this new impulse leg? Okay, as we break this structure right here, that'll be key to see if we get anything like that. If we get something like that, then I may consider putting the stop loss just right below the 4-hour zone. But if I don't, if it gets a little lazy on me, I'm going to incorporate the whole